Okay, one more time. All right. I'm April White.
And I'm Christopher Tompkins.
And you're on the line with the Hype Busters.
Welcome. Ready for some real talk on strategic communications?
You're in the right place. Chris.
Hey, April.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Oh, and all listeners, welcome to Hype Busters. Yay.
I always welcome Chris first.
Yeah, you are. You're a very welcoming person. Like,
So nobody but you.
what?
But also welcome everyone else.
Yeah, welcome. Literally, we are the human equivalent of a gather sign that you find at Home Goods. I mean, you join, gather around us, and we will share our knowledge about stuff that we just don't like. So anyway,
sometimes we like things.
Yeah, sometimes we do. Actually, there's a lot.
Bridgerton.
And some Bridgerton. Said only one of us, by the way. I still haven't watched Bridgerton at all.
It's great. Did I mention?
Yes. You said it was saucy in the parts where you weren't ready for the sauce, but then you enjoyed the sauce.
I like that paraphrase. That's good. So what's going on with you this week? What's happening? What's new?
Oh, well, I'm going to my first conference in I feel like a gajillion years. I mean, I was honestly trying to think of the last conference that I've actually gone to. This one's a global pet expo that's going to be in Orlando, Florida, and going up to see some clients. And it's just so weird. I was thinking about it, just like getting myself psyched up, because I hate nothing more than greeting a whole bunch of people, like in a day. Because I'm going solo too.
Oh, okay. And is it going to be a mask wearing event, I'm assuming?
It's in Florida, so I think it's nude. But I mean, I'm not sure. Not sure. And by the way, I live in Florida, so please, you know, label your hate correctly. But but no, I'll bring one. I haven't seen a mask in a long time. Let's just say that.
Okay, interesting. I mean, that would definitely make it for a more pleasant event. When I went to Super Zoo, the other big pet expo that happens in Vegas, and it was definitely a mask required situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, trying to talk to people in mass all day in a very loud, very boomy, echoey conference center is not fun. So there were people that were literally putting their hand underneath their mask and talking like this so you could hear them, which kind of defeats the purpose. And also, we're on top of each other like you would be at a bar screaming to each other.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, is this safer than just not having a mask and standing at a normal space where you aren't invading each other's private, like, boundaries?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I mean, why don't they hold it?
It's a question mark.
Yeah, exactly. Hold it in the cornfield. You know what I mean? Take it outside, Super Zoo. Take it outside. So I don't really know. I don't really know what it's going to be, and it's cute too because it's a pet expo, which is always like fun and inventive.
Oh yeah,
and interesting. Those are a lot of
fun
for
sure.
And since I have a dog too, it's kind of like I have some sort of vested interest in the whole process.
Wait, are you taking Olive as like a mascot for the
I'm not taking her. Although I could.
You should.
I mean, she would be such a good wing woman for me. I mean, because she stops traffic. So cute. Yeah, she's adorable. We actually, oh my God. Okay, so I'm digressing from our super spreader event I'm going to this week. But the on the next episode of Hype Busters, guest host replacing Chris.
Yeah, Chris has COVID. Bye. Chris has
COVID. Bye. Stepping in. But no, this past weekend we did something that was the cutest thing I think I've ever done in my life, and something I never thought I'd ever do in my life. Our breeder has a family reunion for all of the dogs that were bred.
No.
So
oh my God, it's so cute.
It's usually held on their farm because they have a farm, and this year they didn't do it on the farm. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, I you know what? My 9 to 5 is all about details. So And my personal life,
Leave
I'm
it
on
to
the
Dale.
edges. I'm on the edges. I'm not looking at I'm not line editing this shit. So anyway, there's a reason why, but it was held in this really big a hotel in Orlando. I'm going to Orlando twice in a week, which is weird. But because it's such a shithole. Sorry, Orlando. But yeah, it was at this hotel. 250 dogs at a hotel. So we had a yappy hour
Oh my god, so
and
cute.
yeah, and there was costume dogs and there was a whole thing. Okay, I
I
learned
kind of want
something.
to be invited to this without having a dog that's appropriate for the event.
Oh, you totally could. I mean, you could totally arrive at this thing. Um, the happy hour was cute, but then the next day is the oh shit, what's it called? It's the romp, and the romp is yeah, it's a romp. It's romptastic, if that's a word.
No.
It's a romp a minute. So what they do is they have a big ballroom, and everyone brings their dogs in. They close the doors and everybody's off leash. So it's all like hundreds of golden doodles running around.
Oh my god.
I've literally heard the whole time I was there this past weekend. I was there Friday, Saturday, and left on Sunday morning. The 3 or 4 barks the whole entire time. Like they are like the chillest freaking dogs.
That is
And,
so cute.
and it was like everyone was super lovable. Some of them were a little muddy, but like there were some like real. I mean, Olive though was the only one there that had long hair.
Oh,
No one
really?
had long hair at all. Everyone was shaved within an inch of their lives. Which I
Oh,
but they look some of them look
I like
pretty
her
good.
Muppety.
Me too, and that's kind of like her personality,
Yeah.
because she's very Muppety, but yeah, no, it was really interesting because I've never thought I'd be locked in a room with 200 dogs. I thought that was kinda odd, and, but,
I would be in heaven.
it was so cool, but the one thing I learned about this weekend, aside from her being the cutest dog on earth, literally, I was I was on the opposite side. I
Like,
was try
oh, mine is the cutest still.
Oh yeah, I was like, they're coming over and they're like, "Oh my god, she's the cutest dog." I'm like, "Totally, tell her again." I was on. I told her to be social because she likes to stay close to us. I was like,
Yeah.
be social," and I was pushing her over to like run around. So she was running around, and she got to the opposite side of the room, and I was just standing there talking to somebody. I turned over. She was across the room staring at me. Like she was just saw me and she
Oh,
was like there, and then she was trying to figure out how to get back to me, and like
daddy.
just so cute. And I mean,
Darling.
obviously you want to get back to this guy,
Of
but
course.
no, it was so crazy. So I was like fully committed. I was like auditioning dogs. Like I was like, can I do a black dog? Do I do black and white dog? Okay, come
Oh,
here.
right, because Olive's
Rusty,
about
over
to get
here.
a sister. So you're like, let's test out what she looks like with a new sibling.
So I was pairing them up and taking photographs and seeing
You
which
were
one I would
not.
go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, everyone likes to have their pet taken pictures of, but I was kind of seeing what I liked. And yeah,
You're auditioning dog colors, like,
exactly. Why not? Dale was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Something very, very intelligent. Which we should be invested in this." But
so
yeah,
funny.
it was so heartwarming and so cute, and yeah, it was very
I
good.
love it.
And it was like after having like you know how it is like when we're having like our week of work when you're able to really like I'm done. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not doing anything for a couple days, and then
Yeah,
replacing it with that, it's like, man, it's like so
magic.
rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
so how about
I
you?
had I had a bit of magic myself last night. So
Oh, ooh,
I I it sounds
tell
much
me
it sounds
more.
no, no, it sounds much more exciting than it was. Um, so I was sitting on my couch
Oh,
and my
sounds
cat
hot already.
yeah, it's not. My cat my cat starts, like, stalking
Oh,
something. Okay, enough with that. It's not gonna go in the sex direction.
sorry, I didn't really set it off that direction, but it was just kind of naturally went there. Okay, so your cat was
The
meowing.
cat is stalking something, sees
Okay.
something, and I'm like, "Oh god, it's another mouse in the house." So I'm looking like, "No, he's not looking at the floor, he's looking at this fireplace?"
Okay.
So I look carefully at the fireplace and I see something kind of reflecting, and I think, "Is he just watching his own reflection?" But he's too smart for that. Then I see another, like, reflection something, and then I realize, "Oh my god, there's a bird in the fireplace."
Wow. My
So I
God.
look carefully. It's a bluebird. It's the bluest bluebird
Oh, wow.
imaginable, like the prettiest bluebird. And it's in the fireplace, popping around behind, and luckily I had some logs in there that were not burned. So he wasn't all in soot and things. He was
Oh,
like
good.
hopping
Okay.
around yeah, so that was good. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I guess
Mm.
I have. So I do a quick Google search. Like, okay, I can do this. I just need to grab, you can't use your bare hands on wild birds for their protection and yours. So I go get a rag and I'm like, I got this. Put the cats in the closet so that they
Yes,
can't
that's a good idea.
interfere, just
Yep.
in case, because they're going to be chaos and they're, and who knows
Natural
what'll
instincts.
happen.
Yeah.
Right. And if I happen to not, if I mess up or something and it's flying in the house, right. So eliminate the predators. So they go into the closet. I get the bird. I grab him with the rag. I take him outside. He's fine. He's like super
He
freaked
let
out, but
you
he's
pick him
fine.
up?
I had to kind of pull him out because he was kind of trying to hang on, but luckily I had pet parakeets for a long time, so I'm very
It
familiar with
wasn't
like
flying
handling
around.
birds.
It wasn't
No,
flying around?
uh-uh.
Oh,
So I picked him up and well, you have to grab them over their wings carefully, like gently, and make like a cup. So you have to hold them with
yeah.
that kind of a claw,
Yeah.
right? So they can't get out, but you also can't hurt them. And so I'm holding him like this, and I get him outside, and I'm like, "Here you go, birdie," and I let him go, and I hadn't closed the door behind me, and he flies back in the house. It's like,
God.
are you fucking kidding? Now it's not in a contained area. Now it's in the entire loft ceiling. I mean, like these huge
Oh my God.
A-frame,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? It's like flying around my A-frame cabin. So I'm like one last ditch effort at 1 a.m. Like I got this. This is like 2 hours, right? So I'm
God.
like, okay. So I get this long I have a duster that I use that's got an extendable arm
Yeah,
for the very high ceilings to get the cobwebs and things.
yeah.
So I put that up there and I have the flashlight pointing at the door and everything else is pitch black and I'm like, "Come on, buddy, you got this." And so he doesn't move and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is my moment." I decide to kind of like blind him with the flashlight a bit to keep him disoriented.
Yeah.
Grab him again from the floor, take him outside, shut the door, and then I let him go. And
Oh.
he flew off and he tweeted. But boy, was he mad when I picked him up the second time. First time he wasn't mad. Second time,
Oh, really?
he was really mad. It's like, I know, but you're okay. I promise.
I'm telling you, this is why we're winning awards for this podcast because,
Hmm.
it's everyone's like, you know what? What's happening in their lives? If
Okay.
what am I
I
supposed to
know.
do?
Let's get into something meaningful.
Yeah, like I
So,
go.
you ready to kick
Yes.
off our news segment?
Oh my God. Let's dive in.
So, first news story we have is that brands are investing less in promoting ads with women in professional roles, according to a new study. So,
Nice.
the findings show that despite the increased emphasis on portraying women in non traditional roles, brands are actually investing more in promoting ads that feature traditional gender roles. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, actually.
What do you make
Um,
of that?
it's hard for me to say because there's like one of the stories that we kind of looked at we didn't put to the show didn't make the cut. It's on the cutting room floor of Fight Busters, which is quite thick some days. Just to let you know.
The cutting room
Uh,
floor.
yeah, it's up to your knees. But no, it was talking about gender specific and genderless marketing and that kind of thing. So this is kind of
Yep.
very interesting because it's kind of like the other end of the
The
spectrum.
opposite.
It's the complete
It's
opposite.
leaning in the traditional old school direction instead of that new binary, non-binary direction.
But don't you feel that the more the depending on the age of the target audience, it skews more traditional or it skews more kind of everybody's everybody kind of thing? Because I feel like this seems like brands that would be targeted to older individuals, more I don't want to say more mature because that does sound like
Hmm.
you're like in your 60s or something, but like I would say maybe people that are more, I don't know, used to that type of visual.
Let me scroll down to see if there's anything about what I'm wondering is are they doing that because most of the people that are the decision makers in the household are the traditional female roles of, homemaker. Like my mom. Like I wonder if that's a better target than me, who doesn't have time to do anything, and I'm not going to be review. I mean, in what universe am I looking at ads, right? So other than for work.
Right.
Right? So it's like, I mean, so maybe that's why. Let's see. Is that why they're doing it? It suggests that while brands' ads feature women in progressive roles, they are not promoting these ads as heavily as ads featuring women in traditional roles or ads showing men in professional environments. The use of traditional gender roles in advertising has long been a topic of debate. The UK went so far as to ban gender stereotypes that are likely to cause harm or serious widespread offense in 2019. I mean, it's an interesting conundrum here, right? Because advertisers need to do what's going to sell product. So are they beholden to some kind of socio-political ideal that isn't actually showing up in dollars,
Yeah, I want to say
right?
that yeah, I think kind of like to piggyback what you're saying. I think what this is a case of is the saying that like stereotypes exist because they're true. You know, like the kind of one of the
Yeah,
that 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 type of thinking. So for
yeah.
example, I could be aiming at a mom that's making breakfast for the kids while the dad's already gone to work. And then it's like, oh, but I'm a dad and I'm home making that. I'm like, oh, okay, well then we're gonna do an ad with you. But you may only be reflecting into 5% of my total audience. So it doesn't really,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So I can see maybe that making sense.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
you see that,
it's
I mean,
weird to think
good.
it's weird to think that they banned, in the UK, gender stereotypes that might cause harm. I mean, I don't know how they're defining that exactly, but if that's still the majority of people who are purchasing a product, why would you be not allowed to speak to that target audience? It's like we're trying to get away with anything normative.
Yes. And I think that that's kind of, our cutting room floor article was kind of really speaking to that, right? It was
Uh-huh.
kind of like everything has to be, and I hate saying this and kind of because I'm not like slighting anybody's beliefs or anything, but everything's turning beige. And I think that
Yep.
the beigeness of it all, from a marketing perspective, I can see this very clear in terms of I can see this shift happening because
Mhm.
even with a lot of the problems that I've experienced with Facebook slash Meta slash Zuckerberg's DreamPad, like it's kind of like it's we can't say this is a headache pill. It will help reduce your pain that you have for your headaches. We
Mhm.
have to change all of our words to fit the box that Facebook wants us to speak in. So
Mhm.
then we start
Mhm.
talking like that. Then those ads start working. So the people that have created those ads, meaning the brand or the company, thinks that it's the language in those ads that it's actually making and connecting with the audience, and then continues that narrative. And what happens is you're
A
basically
reality.
learning. Yes. So
That's scary to me.
it's very scary. It's gross.
Right, it's like corporate magic.
Yeah. I mean, I have to do it all the time on every different platform. You have to speak a
Mhm.
certain way. You have to present
Mhm.
things in a certain way. And is it manipulative? Yes. Is marketing manipulative? Yes. You're messing with brain function. But at the same time, having to be authentic, it's kind of like we have to wear like 45 different things. We're basically trying to speak someone else's language by
Mhm.
not offending anybody by what we have to say, and having messages that are so convoluted and watered down that they lose meaning, but they're not going to create an uproar. And
There's no connection, right? There's no
yeah,
connection, there's no authenticity, but there's also no potential for offense, which is
it's a problem, I think.
I think it's a huge problem. I mean, it's actually I think that in general, if people are comfortable with themselves and they trust themselves and their own value, then nothing in the external can reflect back to them anything negative, right? I mean, they so for example, RuPaul, right? One of my favorite examples of this. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing anybody could ever say to that guy that would ever offend him. You know why? Because
Mm.
he knows himself, he knows his worth and his value, he loves himself, right? He's complete, he's coherent, everything he does is from the same place. He doesn't talk out of both sides of his mouth. There's no like there's nothing that anybody could say
Right.
that would that would make him question his own worth. So he can't be offended.
Mhm.
And if we can all do that, then none of this is necessary.
Oh, yeah.
But what you're doing is you're basically confirming that people don't have inherent value in whatever it is that they're doing because, oh, we don't want to hurt them. But you're not empowering them to say, I love myself, I know myself, I have integrity, I trust that everything that I'm doing is coming from that place of coherence. And anything that anybody says to me, water off my back.
And it's so true because the other side of the coin is we're creating, I mean, from marketing messages, from branding, from how we're positioning things, by how we're telling our stories, are to make everybody so easily offendable. So
Hmm.
everybody can be so literally, I could say something that 10 years ago would be like, what, ignored, that now
Trigger
would be
me.
so pointed and it would scream and people would be outraged to the point where you would be like pushed out, knocked out. Now, I'm not saying I would be like, yo, gays are bad workers or like women are terrible. Like, I mean, it's not something that would be obviously kind of like, discriminatory, but like just even saying any statement, it's so easy to just offend anybody. And I think that
Hmm.
that's an issue, because marketers now are trying to do things that are, what do we always try to do? We're always trying to appeal to the person. But now, not only are we trying to appeal to the person, we are trying to appeal to the person who's been created by the marketing messages that we had no control over. So now it's trying to connect with this altered state of
Hmm.
consciousness. I don't know. I mean, I think we're probably getting in the weeds with our psychobabble, but like I do feel that it's
I mean, we did talk about me being up till 2 a.m. with the
oh
birds.
yeah,
It's so hot.
sitting on her couch with her
The
cat.
bird. Wow, you make me sound so illustrious.
I know. It's like episode 2 of Bridgerton, like 25.3 mark.
Oh my
Oh my god,
god.
you know what I have to say? I'm gonna give a shout out to anybody that makes me watch something and gives me a timestamp. I absolutely love that. Don't say watch this. Say watch it at 3:15. Like, that's I'm, like, all about that. I love
I
that.
I bet you do.
I love that. Make my
Seems
life
like something you would love.
I do. I like people, like, making my life easier, not complicating everything.
Well, then watch all of Bridgerton.
Oh god, that's right off the bat. Nobody wants to do all that.
All
Um,
right. Should we get into the next one?
yeah, the next one we have is it's from the Wall Street Journal, which is one of my favorite publications to read on a daily basis. And USA Today owner Gannett Co.
Gannett.
Ga- Gannett Gannett Co.
Yes, Gannett Co.
Gave advertisers inaccurate information for 9 months. The publisher misrepresented where billions of ads were placed. And
Whew.
Gannett kind of corrected the issue in recent days, as written by a Wall Street Journal writer.
Oh my god.
Um, no judgment, but all judgment. Um, so, gosh, something like this, I feel like this happens all the time. I feel like this happens a lot.
And
Um,
just doesn't get outed.
uh-huh. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but talking to different companies and brands throughout like your agency life, are you shocked at how much they don't know about certain things?
Of their own
Of their own, like, their own
internal
relationship.
workings and data? Yes.
Yeah, and also, the lack of connective tissue to partners that they're paying millions of dollars
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this
it's funny you say that because I just this morning, Lana and I were going over some contract edits from a prospect, and there was one part in there where we say, "We cannot vet the accuracy of the information you give us," meaning whatever you share with us, we're gonna take, right? This if you're telling us something about your company, then we accept at face value that's true. We're not gonna then also vet that said data from your company is true, right?
Right.
And they're like, they wanted to take it out. And I was like, no, like
Yeah.
that stays in because we're not responsible for the inaccurate information you give us about yourselves, right? It'd be like if I told somebody, we have 45 employees and I expected them to verify that we have 33. Like,
Yeah.
no, I have to tell, I give you correct information, or otherwise you go out and promote that we have 45 employees and it's my fault.
Ridiculous.
So crazy. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
So, yeah, this is kind of one of those scenarios where you're dealing with digital ads that are run through an auction, and they're trying to be placed in different spots, and then it's kind of like you are just passing your money over and your investment over, and just hoping that everything works out. Now, this is where I think companies could be a little bit more proactive in terms of understanding how their conversions work and how their traffic is going and where links are. Like, there needs to be more things in place because
Hmm.
you understand how to protect your investment. Like, if I tell somebody that I'm getting traffic off of TikTok and I give them a report that shows the traffic that I'm supposedly getting through the TikTok ads manager,
Hmm.
does that mean that any of those people went to their website? No, it means that this is what TikTok's storyline is. And then I have to go, what I do is I have to look at every side of the story. I have to look at TikTok's side of the story and what the website says, or their store or online,
Mm.
whatever, and kind of match those numbers up, the time frame up, and then maybe do like find maybe a special, like you have to do sleuthing because
Hmm.
I can't trust anybody, and including the client. So
Yep.
it's one of those things, and I mean, obviously, we always trust the client, but at the same time, we can't trust the client's reporting methods. So
Right.
we want to dive in. So something like this, I kind of like it when people get screwed when they're not paying attention to their own business. But in this case, they did. This is right. I mean, don't you like? Because I feel like you should be learning. You should learn from stuff like this.
It's so funny. I mean, it's interesting because Gannett is notorious for kind of being the big corporation that gobbled up independent journalism and ruined it. And I'm saying that as somebody who lived through as a member of the I was a reporter at the Des Moines Register, and then the Des Moines Register, which had been known as being a one of these sort of fearless old independent papers, was gobbled up by Gannett. That's just why I know how to pronounce it for sure, because it's Gannett. Like Gannett came in and just like, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it became very Gannettized. So everything was less about how valid the story was and more about selling papers. And when they found out I was good, they wanted to put me on the suburb that had the biggest circulation increase that could stand to have the biggest circulation increase because of the number of people and the amount of income there. So it was like, ugh,
Yeah.
go cover the hawk going to the kids' classroom instead of the other things you were doing because we need to sell papers. Like, oh.
Um,
So that's why I went into PR. I mean, that's one of the reasons I went into PR.
and is that going to be is are you going to tell that story in the forward or the introduction of your book that you're writing, or is that going to be kind of like is that going to be cutting room floor, or are you going to work it into chapter 3?
I'm pretty sure cutting room floor. Well, it's a good question though, because one of the things I will get into is the credibility of the media.
Mm.
So may play a role, but no, the thing that sort of alarmed me the most about somebody that got into journalism because I wanted to be the watchdog of society was that I was getting budget lines written for me, meaning it was what they would sell to the editorial directors, right? They all sit in a room and decide what goes on page 1A versus inside the fold versus under the, above the fold, under the fold, et cetera, right? So they would sit there and decide where everything's going to go. And my editor would hand me a budget line of this is what I sold in. This is the sample headline. This is the sample story, first paragraph, lead, etc. And then go report on it. So I go report on it. And often I would come back and say, hey, the budget line you wrote isn't really the story. I did my reporting. I talked to these people. He would literally rewrite my copy to match what he had already sold in so he didn't look bad and lose face in front of
Oy vey.
like the higher editors. And I thought, this is what we're doing? The whole thing would get reworked to fit the assumption instead of that the budget line got changed in accordance with the reporting of truth. Ooh.
Well, I mean, when my major in school was, it started off was being journalism because I was
Hmm.
always very inquisitive. I was always very
I remember that.
Yeah, I was always very into it. And then I had a teacher that was very well, probably one of the best teachers I ever had, who just didn't lie about what it was all about. And I
Wow.
and I
So
just
you got spared the 2 years of experience to tell you.
Yep. Exactly. Like he told me that he said it's like it's you're if you think that you're going out in a crusade, you're going to get your wings clipped and you're going to be pushed into the corner. And if you feel like you want to fight the fight, you can fight the fight, but it's going to be a hard one. And you're not going to be, this is not like you're going to be one of those scrappy people that a lot of people dislike. And it's hard to find work. And I was just like, oh, okay. Fuck that. I'm not doing that.
You would have had the backbone for it. I didn't like it because I didn't like I'm too much of a people pleaser. I care too much about making people happy. So it was not a good profession for me for that reason too, but
Yeah, I think I would only like the ass kicking side of it.
oh, you would love it. You'd be a great journalist.
I'd tell the truth. I'd report it.
Oh yeah,
Much
and
like
you
I
would just
do on the Oscar
Hype
winning Hype
busters.
Busters,
On that note,
the
do you
only
want to
podcast that's an EGOT.
do you want to do you want to get into point counterpoint on that
Oh
note?
my god. I wish we would.
That was so disingenuous.
Oh no, it was.
It was.
I, see, I cannot tell a lie. I am full of shit. No, so I love this section because we're able to kind of talk about a couple different sides of things. This one is one of I think this is pretty close to your heart, April. This piss art story.
It's Pixar.
Oh, Pixart. Sorry. Um, so PissArt launches AI
It's
generated
Pixar.
fonts. Pixart launches AI generated fonts, paving the way for asset creation by artificial intelligence. So, if you could, this is from an article through Business Wire, and it shows the fonts that were created by AI and just kind of just a few other multimedia pieces around this. So, AI creating art and creating fonts.
I mean, you know how I feel about AI creating language, but I will tell you, in looking at this font, it looks really nice. So maybe AI creating art is not as odious as AI creating written word.
Or are you just looking at a really pretty font that they did? I see. I kind of
Yeah, because you need to see more examples.
Yeah, because I think that you were really sold on the font when you saw it, and I see. I agree. I think it's
That's true.
very pretty
I
font.
got a little, and there's a butterfly there, which really caught my heart. So
Um,
they
so
they they had my number.
they had all of your numbers,
Yeah,
and they called them. I don't know. I think that bingo. The What do I think about this? I think about it. I visually speaking, I'm thinking about it the same way as the words would come out of it. So when you read AI generated content, it sounds like you're running down a hallway and you keep passing the same clock. I mean, like a Scooby Doo hallway. I mean, it kind of seems like it's cyclical in a way. It's like, oh my god, like grandfather clock, small mouse hole. Grandfather clock, small mouse
uh-huh.
hole. And I think that with this, um, I think after looking at it for a while, you're going to see it's a mashup of like, oh, it's going to be the first three letters are Arial, and then it's going to be trenchant, and then it's going to turn over to something else, and then
I
it's like,
see.
and then it's going to be like, oh, I can see elements of this font and this font in it because it's going to be mashed up a little bit.
Hmm.
Do you see what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like, I think it's
I
going to.
do. I will tell you,
Oh, she
I'm a
will.
huge yeah. Look out.
You will. What?
I'm
Look
a
out! Shit! I didn't know I was getting. Oh, watch out! Goddamn bodyguard for going to co-host this show. Good.
so I'm a huge fan of Taylor Brands, where you can create logos by putting in they have a series of tests where they say, "Do you like this or this more?" And it's two different
Yeah, yeah, I know what
examples
you're
of
talking
fonts,
about.
right?
Mhm.
And you can say a little bit about what the brand is or whatever, and then it
Right.
just auto generates a font. But then you can go through, you can tweak it, whatever. And I've had more success with that silly online program than you can imagine. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So it then maybe I already have a touch point of this working for me. Not to take away from font designers who obviously are really talented. When I've been in a pinch doing a startup or something, it's like it's a pretty easy way to get a good looking logo to start to kickstart things. And sometimes they stick. Sometimes they're actually great. But I was just looking at their site to see if I could create a new font through their AI thing, but it's not a very straightforward process. I was hoping to kind of
It's art.
do that in the background. Pixart.
Let me see.
Are you able to do it quickly? I
Oh,
just wanted to see if, proof of concept, like if I create a font, if it looks
oh,
neat.
this is like okay.
But I don't.
PixArt. I just by I've never from not doing any research on this company, they're immediately a Canva alternative. That's what it seems like
Yes. Oh, for sure.
immediately.
Hmm.
It's just like get a picture, drag it into this hole, turn it into this. Here's a font that we've created. Put this over
Into
top of it.
this hole.
No, it's just like it is. It's like I mean, let's be honest. Social media stuff's social media content does not need to be like designed by a freaking Warhol. But like, I think that
Right.
and I think these tools are great for that because I would never want, like, for example, if I had a lead designer, I wouldn't have them working on social media visuals. You know what I mean?
Right.
We'd have them working on branding and logos and like mastheads and
Right.
stuff
Because
like
these
that.
can be really simple with just somebody who has a good sense of a good eye and
Yeah,
like some semblance of knowledge of the color wheel.
yeah. I
All
personally,
set.
I think that this is no offense. I think this is built for lazy people. Um, I don't have time to write. I don't have time to design. I don't know what I like. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is what you like, right? Okay.
Or just like maybe not lazy, but just like people that don't, that's not what they want to spend their time figuring out or their money on.
Yeah, quite possibly. Then why are you doing it in the first place? I don't
Because
know. I just,
they're entrepreneurs who are doing like bootstrapping the whole thing and doing
oh,
literally everything from
everyone's
payroll to
bootstrapping. I've heard bootstrapping so much. Is bootstrapping back? I mean,
I don't know.
it's a new hot trend.
I'm bringing bootstrap back.
Yep.
Other
I think.
fuckers don't know how to act.
Oh my god, April Wimberley. But yeah, no, I don't know. I've just heard it a lot, and every time I hear the word, I think of like leather laces, the smell of leather laces. I don't know why, but
Okay. Well, should we? I feel like we kind of overdid that one. Should we?
yeah.
should we
Oh my god.
I think that wasn't.
Sorry,
That was
Pixar.
that was in the oven too long, and like the chicken came off, and like the it just
The
broke.
chicken
It just.
came on. What the fuck are we cooking? What is that? What it cooked? The chicken came off. Like, is it like a turducken? And then like the
I was
outer bird fell away from the inner bird? Oh my god.
oh my god! No, I was picturing
This
that
is why
movie.
this is why we are gaining millions of listeners
I'm
every episode.
I'm literally crying. I was picturing that like that turkey from that movie, and it comes out of the oven. I think it's Christmas. Is it? What is
Christmas
it?
vacation, yeah.
Is it? And they take it out, and it's like, and it goes, and it
Yeah.
pops open. There's no meat inside. It's just the skin. Like,
But how
but
you said it was just like it melted away like
no,
Nazi faces in Indiana Jones movies. Like, I mean, it was like it just, it just
I mean,
falls away. It's when your chicken
I,
falls.
I
Oh my
don't know.
god.
I did watch Dune. I did watch Dune last night. Maybe it like went to my head.
You watch Doom. Like, what is this rotation of shows you're watching? It's like she's either getting hot with Bridgerton or she's getting serious with Doom.
Dune.
No, I
D-U-N-E.
thought you said Doom. Like,
No, David Lynch from the like whatever that is, 80s,
oh yeah,
70s.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't watched that. Is it worth it? or is it just like a long movie?
I
It's
have to
pretty.
try again, but there's also a new
Never the good first review, by the way, Rotten Tomatoes fans. I'm
I
gonna try it again. I'm gonna give it a weekend to
I
ruminate.
I tried to well, the part of it what happened is it expired this morning because I was supposed to finish it last night, but then the bluebird situation.
Oh my god.
That's what I did instead because I didn't want to have the TV on in case the bluebird flew into Dune.
So Dune literally got the bird.
Yeah, it did.
Well, at least the meat didn't fall away from it. In other news, Netflix tests a strategy to crack down on password sharing. Oh, well, how about that? God, what I mean,
Yeah,
like, do you share your passwords with a lot of people?
100%. Not a lot. But I definitely and I mean I have to stop anyway soon for other reasons. But um
Oh, that audit.
yeah, it's totally the audit. No, so I mean I do. And I have in the past also lent the
No.
password to somebody who didn't have Netflix but like wanted to watch the David Chappelle Dave Chappelle is
David
happening to
Chappelle hour.
me.
Hear ye. David Chappelle.
The spice. Like, okay. Um,
Uh,
that's from Dune. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of annoying, but it also totally makes sense because I have wondered how many people do that. And I know, for example, my trainer gets all of these different services for his friends who can't afford to have whatever. So he has every subscription, and then all of his friends or whatever have access to the same password. So, I mean, it's definitely a thing, right? It's definitely something that people do.
So I love the imagery of your trainer being like the Robin Hood of digital
Oh,
streaming,
he
and
is.
like
Oh, yeah.
all of
Oh,
his
yeah.
block.
No, and it's funny because I only found out because one day I was like, hey, do you have, I said, I can't remember what it was. I said, maybe it was Apple TV. We're talking about Ted Lasso or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you have it? He's like, yeah, I have everything. I was like, you do? He's like, yeah. He's like, I think I have that. I don't watch it. I just have it for my friends. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Want the password? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to get on Apple? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This guy pays for all of it so his friends can bum his subscriptions.
Well, that's very giving. I don't
I
know.
mean, they've already made something happen where if you have too many different things open with Netflix, it'll crash.
Yeah.
So they kind of already are working on that, which frankly is a pain for me because I often have like something on the TV and then I start watching it on my phone and then I finish it on the computer. I mean, I'm crazy like that, like
Yeah, I do that. I
crazy.
do that too. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, third thing is open. It's like maximum number of devices. I'm like, crap. So I have to go close it on whatever to finish watching it on wherever I move to if I'm in the kitchen now or so.
Well, see, that would be where I would have gone first with it, because if you're thinking about like, because I just subscribed to a new VPN program, because we log into so many different things for our clients that it keeps pinging. There's so much security now. Anyway, long story short, I get 6 devices that can utilize that program, and that's it. And what happens is,
Okay.
as soon as I download it to that device,
Hmm.
that's the device. So I can't just log in, and it's as soon as it's downloaded and I log in, it's set. So I think that Netflix could do something like that very easily, and so could Hulu and all the rest of them, and
Hmm.
Ted Lasso carrying Apple TV, um, which also has the Snoopy show, which is
The
I'm more
Snoopy
partial to.
show.
Yeah, they did a whole new Snoopy show, and it's
Really?
like short Snoopy, very cute. There's also Snoopy in space, which is okay because my husband's review of it. Oh, it's good because those depressing fucking kids aren't on it. Because he likes only Snoopy in Woodstock,
Snoopy.
because they're
Animals.
voiceless. So no, they're voiceless.
Oh,
They just
voiceless.
go.
He hates that stuff.
Oh, he hates like the Charlie
Talk.
Brown. Oh my god, he's like,
It
what is
was
that?
so. It
That
was
sounds like a Fat
uncanny.
Albert crossover. like right there.
It was uncanny.
It was.
It was so close.
It was so close that I almost gave it my Netflix password. Do 4 more push-ups. Here's my Hulu. All right, you
Oh
finish this mile. I'll give you my Tubi.
my oh my god.
Anyway, so yeah, so Netflix is upping their security, which is good. I think a good move for them. I mean, do you remember when you used to get the DVDs in the mail?
Oh yeah, I still have a couple.
This is why they almost went out of business.
Because
Never
people like me just hold on to those CDs
won't
forever.
won't return your copy of God, what would it be? Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, it was definitely that. It's not that.
Aw.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Should we do cash or trash?
Yeah, what the hell? Let's do it. Unless you want to talk about Pixar some more.
No. Piss art? No.
Pixar. Piss off, Pixar. So this is a
Wait, you were gonna make some joke about it, but now I can't remember what it was.
Pixar.
Oh, no, no, it's for the next one.
What's the next one? We're on Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah, from Marketing Dive, we read all about Dollar Shave Club signing on chin-fluencer to nil deal for March Madness. So nil is name, image, and likeness, which is always fun to remember and
So
learn.
they got Gonzaga University star. Do you know who this is? Drew Tim?
I mean, I don't know who the hell this is.
Okay. Me neither.
He definitely does not look like he looks like an athlete because look at that expression on his face. He doesn't have the sparkle of an advertising personality.
No. What do you want me to just hold? I just hold this here. I just
Okay,
hold
all right, okay,
my finger here and then like put it and
okay. We're gonna have to stop you right there. Quit you're soiling your pants. Stop.
he didn't
Look
mean
look at
that.
that look at that face. Does that not look like a face of a baby that's wetting itself?
No, it looks more like I wish I were on the couch eating chips and stoned.
Not chips. No. Oh my god, I wish I was using my trader's Hulu account. It's getting wasted and eating chips. That's what he's thinking. So, what do you think about the
So
chinfluencer?
this is okay. So this is an effort on the brand's part to do a noticeably smooth campaign. So there's some sort of new spot airing during March Madness. I guess if you know who this is and they picked this guy because he's got this like handlebar mustache for people that don't know who it is, like we don't.
Yeah.
And basically now they're running the sweepstakes on Instagram and Twitter through March 14, asking consumers to share a picture of their smooth chins for a chance to win tickets to the men's Final Four. So I guess
Wow.
if I cared about the men's Final Four and I were a guy that shaved, I guess it works.
A lot of
It's a lot of
stipulations on
it
that
was a lot of
sport.
like
If I
it was
was
a lot
if
of
I
ifs.
was dead,
I'm just trying
uh,
to I was them.
if I was blind, um, I think this sucks. I hate this. I
Oh, okay.
hate it. I
Okay.
hate it. I don't like little faces as balls. It reminds me of like those balls that we used to have
As
when we were.
balls.
No,
Oh,
it's
the
a
ball
ball.
that he's
It's supposed
spinning.
to be like a
Yeah.
basketball,
Yeah.
but obviously like not the size of a basketball. It looks more like a fucking like softball or something. But I don't like I don't like that weird face thing on the ball. I
Tim's
think it's
smooth chin.
gross.
It's super creepy.
I don't think it's interesting either. I
I
think
just
Dollar
think it's
Shave Club,
creepy.
it just like I think that they get stoned and eat chips and come up with these ideas because all of their stuff is like so like beyond.
Soil themselves.
Yeah, soiling themselves.
All right, so trash.
Yeah,
I think we're,
trash.
I
Sorry.
think we're done with that.
See
All
you
right,
guys.
next one. So Duolingo is offering to translate your foreign language tattoos for free.
That's fun.
So basically, you can find out if your spontaneous French tattoo you got during your last vacation really means faith in French, or does it actually mean liver? So I think it's pretty. I mean, I think this is pretty clever.
Yeah.
It would definitely be terrifying to find out that the thing that you thought it meant is tattooed onto your flesh and it's not what you thought it was.
God damn. Tattooed on your flesh.
You're just up too late.
Branded.
I was up too late with that bird.
I swear to God, man. Take a chill pill. Christ.
It was dude.
Yeah. Okay. I really like this idea because I remember like very, very vividly walking past tattoo parlors or tattoo shops in various countries that I've lived in or traveled
Mhm.
in, where there's like annoying, let's say English speaking, meaning American
Mhm.
tourists that are being absolutely appalling, like absolutely appalling behavior. And they're like ordering people around and snapping and treating people really bad in the tattoo parlor. And you just know this is what's happening to them. Like you know that they don't speak the language and they're getting this done to them. Because that's what happens. A lot of the times. Also, a lot of the times they don't translate correctly. So when they're trying to, like they're in China or they're in Japan, they're trying to say what they mean and it's so like off that they like, "Oh, you mean kitchen." And then you get like kitchen written on your arm and then you really wanted like you're like Maury or
Oh my god.
or something, I don't know. But like yeah, and I think
That's terrifying.
it is. Oh, it's really terrifying, but that's not. That's why you freaking figure it out, you idiots! Like, don't get something written on your body if you haven't translated it yet. I mean, standalone words. Have we not learned how words work? I mean, if you have a standalone word and it's not around connecting words, it can mean something different. So,
Mhm.
but I what I don't like about this is I don't like how the ad looks. I don't like the ad. It looks dated. It looks like old Instagram.
It does.
It looks like old Instagram. So it looks like, and also Duolingo
Mhm.
is not super cool. So I would say that this is like a dad campaign. Like I felt like it's like a dad joke version of a campaign that's cool. So I think that what I would have done is I would have put someone looking really confident and talking to somebody with something really shitty on
It'd
their
be
arm.
way funnier if it was like a girl trying to be super sexy and like show off her belly tattoo and it says something like ridiculous. It'd be
Oh my god,
amazing.
nothing is sexier than a belly tattoo.
Back tattoo. I don't care. Anything where she's like, check
No,
it
it
out.
just sounds funny. It's
And
like hey,
then
hey, boys. It's like I never seen anybody do that. It's usually to cover stretch marks or
that's why
cesareans.
it'd be extra funny.
No, it was very good. It was very good. It's hinged
Unexpected.
belly tattoo. Okay, like this idea, but get a younger crew to help you get your ads together. Or
So
someone.
cash, trash.
Oh, I cashed this. I like it.
Okay.
I
Okay, me
like
too.
it. And the joke that I was going to say that this was a pre-show. I mentioned you were asking how to pronounce it,
Yes.
and I said just don't say Dua Lipa, and you're like,
What does that
oh,
mean?
what's that?
I still don't know.
Okay, Dua Lipa is a singer.
Oh, so now I'm your parents.
No, that was the Dollar Shave Club face. So it is stone eating chips. If that's what
So
you're thinking of, or if you don't know who Dua Lipa is, you have your Dollar Shave Club. I'll call them.
perfect.
I'll
Okay.
call.
Well, you can give your parents my number. I'll have a lot to talk about. Remember you were telling me how your parents like don't know any famous rappers?
Oh no, but they
They were
do come up.
mispronouncing all of the names or something?
Oh yeah, like we had in the '90s, everyone was a Lil. So my dad will say Lil in front of anybody's name.
That's a rapper.
Oh, yeah, he's like, "Oh, is that Lil Weekend?" I was like, "No, Dad, it's not Lil
Just
Weekend.
just Weekend.
It's just
Just
Weekend.
not Lil. Yeah,
Lil Weekend."
that's adorable.
Oh yeah. Ain't he cute?
So cute.
So that was our cash and trash segment. If
I love it.
you'd like to see if we like your idea, send it in and we'll cover it. Not
Perfect.
convincing, but we won't.
No.
We won't.
So
We'll
we
always
so
choose
we
one.
and just to recap, because I don't know if we officially gave trash to Dollar Shave, but trash to Dollar Shave
Trash all the way.
and cash to Duolingo.
Yeah. So we had one positive and one negative.
See?
Yeah.
Balanced.
Yes. Look at us. pH
Just
balance.
like journalists.
Yay.
Should we wrap it up?
Oh my God. Let's wrap it up. I'll get some.
It's your response to everything I've asked you today.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I'm an easily excitable boy. Yeah. So we laughed, we cried. I mean, we went on a journey today.
We did.
We got esoteric, we got theological, we got
A little bit.
aspirational.
Psychosomatic.
And still, folks, we leave, and April has no idea what Dua Lipa even looks like or what she sounds like. If you want to hear her, just go to 7-Eleven. She's top 40. It's playing somewhere. I mean, go to a Target.
Oh my God. Means I have to go out in public. All right.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Hype Busters.
Oh, folks, I just love you all. Thank you for joining us. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, you want to be a guest, just get in touch with us. We're everywhere. Give us a really great review. Like I mentioned, we've won many awards for things not related to this podcast. So we try to bank all of our cred right here. Right in your doors.
We'll see you next time for more real talk on strategic communications with me, April, and him,
Chris. See ya.
Bye.